Bonjour. Merci pour venir ici à cet atelier. Je suis d'Ebantic, une entreprise de Barcelone, une entreprise de logiciels. Et avec moi, il y a David Diaz, c'est le Digital Manager of the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao. Nous ferons la conférence, l'atelier. La première part, j'essaierai de parler en mon français, qui ne sera pas au jour. Et David, sa part, il fera en anglais. OK? So, c'est ça le principal, les rôles de la plateforme audiovisuelle sur les musées. So, pour nous, et David exprimera après mon parole, c'est connecter les audiences grâce aux vidéos et au streaming. J'essaierai d'exprimer ce que Ebantic a fait en ce cas pour le Guggenheim Bilbao, et c'est les motifs pour que nous sommes ici. Il fera 4 parts. La première part, c'est du physique au numérique. J'essaierai d'exprimer ce que c'est ça. L'avantage stratégique de la transformation numérique et les composantes essentielles pour faire ça. Et après, nous ferons l'étude des cas. Et c'est pour ça que David a gentiment venu à Paris à parler de ça. OK. Très simplement, il y a 3 points principaux. Il faut créer un lien les publics grâce à la vidéo et au streaming, connecter avec le public numérique, nous disons digital, et surtout créer une communauté d'adeptes. Et c'est le rôle principal de la plateforme audiovisuelle. Les spectateurs, les visiteurs, il y a avant, durant et après. En ce cas, peut-être le principal motif, c'est après la visite au musée. Qu'est-ce qu'une plateforme audiovisuelle? C'est très simple, un environnement numérique qui diffuse les vidéos directement sur Internet, sans intermédiaire. Ça, c'est la clé de tout. Si un musée met les vidéos à YouTube ou Vimeo, il n'est pas le contrôle de ça. YouTube, après la première visionnée de vidéo, il va pas au musée. Okay. Qu'est-ce que nous faisons là? Il va faire la thématique d'événements en direct, d'entretien qu'il y a sur les archives du musée, et avoir une identité audiovisuelle. Okay. Il faut voir, avec un musée, évoluer à la visite au voies culturelles suivies. C'est un trend, le zéro click trend. Nous avons maintenant, l'année dernière, presque 60% du trafic sur les sites. Ça ne marche pas parce que l'intelligence artificielle, en ce cas, il dérive tout l'intérêt de la personnes qui sont là essayant d'obtenir l'information, va directement à l'intelligence artificielle. C'est pour ça que la vidéo gérée par les musées directement et sur le contrôle de ça viendra mieux. C'est en fait que le modèle numérique traditionnel ne marche suffisamment plus. Qu'est-ce que c'est la plateforme? Comme réponse stratégique, c'est une chaîne nous l'appelons chaîne de télévision, mais c'est comme Netflix en ce cas, gérée par les musées. Ils ont le contrôle de l'audience et surtout les données de l'audience. Of course, avec tout le respect à les lois de les données, de la personne qui branche la site. Il faut avoir une autorité de marque et positionner comme diffuseur culturel actif. Le but, c'est fidélisation de la communauté. Les abonneurs s'abonnent à une plateforme vivante évolutive. Et plus en plus filtré pour l'intelligence artificielle, les musées, nous pensons, doivent prendre le contrôle de leurs relations avec le public. Nous avons ici les avantages stratégiques de la transformation numérique. Okay. Un engagement avec la communauté, créant un sentiment d'apparence transcendante, analyse de l'audience avec les données que nous pouvons maintenant, avec ces plateformes, avoir, et troisième point, l'accessibilité et l'inclusion. Nous ne sommes pas maintenant seulement sur le site des musées, c'est la possibilité d'aller en public mondial, au dehors des barrières physiques et linguistiques. Ça se permettra avec la plateforme audiovisuelle. En positionnement institutionnel, les valeurs de leadership dans l'écosystème culturel. Et il y a la possibilité d'avoir un nouveau modèle économique. Pas seulement de faire de l'argent, c'est faire la possibilité d'avoir ces ressources d'abonnement, parrainage et par le biais d'altération numérique. Ça, c'est le diagramme de bloc qu'Ebantic a développé pour faire la plateforme audiovisuelle de ce cas de Guggenheim Bilbao. Et ça, c'est utile et disponible pour quelque autre musée qui veut le faire. Ça fait l'alignement de la technologie, de contenu et de la communauté. C'est le très point principal. Bon, vous voyez ici, c'est le Content Management System, c'est de contenu, de la collection audiovisuelle, médias, la métadonnée centrale, un moteur de fusion pour la diffusion des vidéos, l'intégration avec le CRM2 du musée, il y a l'indexation automatique avec l'intelligence artificielle et un tableau de bord analytique pour faire la plateforme audiovisuelle du musée. Ici, c'est les 4 points essentiels d'une plateforme audiovisuelle pour le musée. C'est faire la technologie, utiliser le contenu, appliquer les technologies. Le contenu est disponible, créer la communauté et avoir les partenaires. Pour faire ça, et David exprimera mieux que moi, et commencer doucement avec une sélection ou une série d'événements en direct ou déjà tournage de l'entretien des artistes et ça, et fait la cohérence, authenticité, premièrement que la quantité. C'est l'identité du musée d'avoir sur le web. En résume, l'avenir audiovisuel du musée, les vidéos occuperont une place plus et plus centrale. Les musées produiront un avantage de contenu. Le public sera mondial et la communauté numérique jouera un rôle clé. Vous connaissez mieux que moi, les musées ont toujours préservé l'art Et maintenant, désormais, ils peuvent également percevoir et valoriser leur contenu audiovisuel. Si vous voulez avoir plus d'informations sur ces cas, vous avez ces QR, vous les pouvez scanner. J'ai là ici un papier, si vous voulez, sur les noms de produits, c'est en anglais, c'est un musée OTT. OTT means over the top. Et ça explique que c'est la technologie qui, pour vous comprendre mieux, Netflix, l'utilise tous les jours. Okay? C'est ça le QR de moi, de Pep Rubíes. À la gauche, à la droite, il y a de Carlos Ram, c'est le CEO. Nous sommes ici, aux côtés, avec la Gioconda générée à intelligence artificielle, parce que c'est seulement une question de marketing. Okay. Et là, je passe la parole à David, qui exprimera en anglais en ce cas qu'est-ce qu'il a fait avec l'outil que nous avons fourni après un concours. Merci.
Thank you, Pep. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry, I cannot speak French, so I just hope you understand English. Just to.
With anything, I will try to do my best.
And thank you. You know, it's great to be in a meeting like this. I normally go every year to different museums, meetings like this around Europe. And it's always interesting, you know, to learn from some other museums, their experience, the way they deal with technology. Because, you know, working day by day in a museum like the Guggenheim, for example, the Louvre, I had the opportunity to go yesterday to the Louvre. And it's, you know, it's impressive. The building, the collection, everything is so large. And, you know, I learn more from some other museums' experience than going to any kind of teaching a school or something like that, because, you know, the day by day, we know the kind of troubles we deal with every day. So I'm going to explain a little bit our experience with the canal Guggenheim Bilbao. This is a digital channel. It's been up and running for less than a year, so it's brand new. But I think it's you know, I am in charge of the digital department at the Guggenheim Museum. This is a new museum. We are in 2027, we are going to turn 30 years old. We are not teenagers, but we are young museum. And, you know, it's 30 years. I've been working there all this time, mainly on technology. And, well, if you have not been in Bilbao, this city is placed in the Basque Country, in the north of Spain. And, you know, we are running like 9-10 temporary exhibitions every year, and we have a permanent collection. We have a small collection yet, okay? It's art museum. And we belong to what we call the Guggenheim Constellation. That is the museum in New York, the Peggy Guggenheim in Venice, then Bilbao, and this year we are opening a new museum in Abu Dhabi, the Guggenheim Abu Dhabi. It's a large museum. And it's been designed by the same architect than Bilbao, Frank Gehry. Maybe you know, he passed away a few months ago. So, and it's considered one of the buildings of the 20th century, the Museum Guggenheim Bilbao. You know, all the surface is titanium. At that time, it was possible to build that titanium. Today, I don't think it will be possible because it will be so expensive. But well, we have something 1,300,000 visitors every year. 70% of visitors are from abroad, foreigners. And well, as I mentioned, I think it's worth visiting if you have the opportunity. Okay. I would like to introduce a video about this project I'm going to explain. Okay, this project was released in 2025. I try to launch 2-3 digital projects every year. We don't have a very large team. We have 3 people, IT, systems, communication, security, and we have 3 people, digital transformation, just going business, trying to help the staff to work better and faster and cheaper, and trying to facilitate our visitors the experience. And there is not only, as you know, there is not only one profile of visitors, there are many profiles, and there are people that they don't want to interact with technology at all. So you have to keep that in mind as well. So when I have been for 2 years thinking about a project like this. Why? First, an exhibition, at least in Bilbao, I guess it's the same in any museum in the world. Maybe it's, they start working in an exhibition maybe 2 years, 3 years before the opening, okay? There's a complex exhibition that it may take more, with lending, trying to find the artworks. And it's very expensive. But for example, temporary exhibitions in Bilbao maybe take, they are exhibit for 3 months, maybe 4 months. That's all. So I wanted to keep, an exhibition alive during a longer time, because, it's some of the exhibitions we have already done in Bilbao, they will not repeat again because maybe the artist is not alive, or maybe we won't have another opportunity. Second reason, I found there were some external companies, not Netflix, but something similar, that were asking for material, so not the documentaries we were releasing. We've been creating documentaries from the beginning. Not a very large number, not a great quality, but we were doing something at first. We were recording some documentaries about exhibition. There were some interviews, but not much. And most of that old stuff, it was, as you can imagine, tape, analog devices. Okay, so we needed to digitalize all that analog content. So after 2 years, mainly looking for, I want to do that, but it's too expensive. It's been too expensive for many years. I had many meetings with the big companies, and it was, at least for our museum, it was impossible to deal with a project like this. And I tell you about, you needed a very large budget to do that and to maintain that platform up and running, okay? But, I wanted to design our own platform, because we wanted to, we always need to have the control of what we do at the museum. We don't want, it's important to work with partners, but I think for us it's very important to have all the control. We wanted to access, to have control to the CMS, to be able to complete from recording to publishing in the canal, in the platform. We wanted to be in control of everything. So, you know, Vimeo or maybe YouTube, they have open OTTs, maybe there are something, but we wanted to do something with our design, with our look and file. And it was important for us to, in the integrations with core platforms like the CRM. Okay, we use Salesforce. I'll explain afterwards what we use Salesforce. It's for our community. We have something like 400,000 members in our community. Followers, friends, educators, corporate members, okay? So the main goal, it was to do something for community. I'll explain now. Second, as anyone else, and mainly from the COVID period, we have been streaming some activities, but you know, in a very simple way. And if we wanted to do something better, we have to hire someone to do it, you know. So that requires to hire people. They come with cameras. You know, and that's, if you have a large number of activities to record, that's expensive as well. So the second key aspect of this project was to, you know, equip the museum with professional technology for recording and for streaming. So we create our small production department. We install high quality cameras, auditorium, library, book, biblioteca. Well, some of this library, some of the spaces where we run most of the activities to be able to stream ourselves with a decent quality, okay? And to have the right person to do that. And the third key aspect I wanted to do in this project is, okay, artificial intelligence. You know that today most of the conference I go, 90% is about artificial intelligence. And museums, we need to find what can we do as a museum with artificial intelligence. And I think there are many things we can do. So most of our digital platforms are translated to Basque. You know, in the Basque country we have Euskera, that's language, Basque language, Spanish, English, and French. And we have a publication department, and all the content we have, it's edited and translated by human people. So that's fine, you know, the quality, it's the best one you can get. But in a project like this, what we are going to be creating, maybe 100, 150 videos every year that we need to translate. Or maybe you need more people, or you need to find something that works. So these were the three aspects for me to start this project. Okay, this is the look and feel of the platform, the OTT, what we call the Canal Guggenheim Bilbao. Okay, we have different sections. Listen, we have 70% of our visitors are mobile users. So we need to do something, you know, that was working properly in mobile phones. We've been delivering video content in our website for many years. We even won a Webby Award for our website 2 years ago, I think. It's great, it's fine, you know, but our Google Analytics was telling us that not many people were watching our videos, you know. What's the reason? Maybe because there is so much information in a website, thousands and thousands of text, pictures, brochures, videos that sometimes is not easy to find, you know. So we wanted to do something very simple. We have we have an exhibitions where there is a documentary for any exhibition we are doing. We have talks, opening talks with the artists, with the curators, conference with artists. We have living arts, any activities related to music, to dance, to any kind of art. It's shown then. The building, as I mentioned before, the building I think is an artwork itself. Even empty will be worth visiting because, you know, it's a great building. So we have a section with an interview with Frank Gehry, with the inside, with the external, you know. We have series of documentaries, talks with the artists, talks with important people, actors, models, talking about some of our artworks. Sustainability, it's a key factor in our museum as anyone else, I guess, you know. So we have a special section. We have a live streaming portal. You know what happened before? We were sending different streaming links to everybody. Any department, different links, YouTube, Vimeo. You know, it was so crazy. Now, we have, you know, if you want to watch a live stream at the Guggenheim, you know where you have to go. The key is to go to every streaming, live streaming. It's going to be streamed from the live section of the Canal Guggenheim Bilbao. So we are little by little. Now we have opening talks, we have press releases, and, you know, we'll keep adding new activities to this section. So people, they know where to go. This is a view, for example, of the exhibitions section. Well, you have, you know, access to the videos. You have some information that you can find as well in the website. These are the talks, the opening talks, conferences with the artists, curators. Those are recorded with some of the equipment I mentioned before, okay? And this is more or less the look feel when you access one of the videos. That's Refik Anadol. Have you heard about Refik Anadol? We have this past year, he's an American artist. I think he's, well, Turkish.
He's Turkish.
Turkish, okay. But he lives in the States, in Los Angeles. He's well known because he works in his artworks with artificial intelligence. Okay, those images were created. We have Refik Anadol last year for 3-4 months. It was a success. You know, people that were coming because all or most of his creation is done using artificial intelligence to create this exhibition, this live exhibition. It was amazing. It was a huge exhibition area, and if you have not seen it, go to Canal Guggenheim Bilbao and take a look. It was impressive. And that's how it looks, the upcoming streams, live streams. We show in advance what is coming, so anyone can get information. And, you know, once the clock stops, there you are. So in a year, we were doing nearly nothing. We had no idea about high quality streaming, about equipment, and we had to learn, you know. I think it's important to learn, so we had experience, and for that, we learned how to deal with that, and we still have a long time to come, you know. We need to improve our quality, we need to improve our equipment, we need to improve our canal with more features, but we are, you know, from 180 videos 1 year ago, right now we are with 350 right now. And I guess we can upload something like 100 videos every year. One of the key aspects is, and thank you for Pep, is working with the right partner. I found in Ebantic, that's a company located in Barcelona, where they can let us work with a platform that was already done, but we could adjust to what we needed. We needed a look and feel for the museum. We needed some integration with our platform like Salesforce. And, we made it. I think it's... Now we have, as I mentioned before, an OTT. It's Netflix, Amazon Prime, that's an OTT. So this kind of platform designed for consumers to watch as many videos as you can in an easy way, okay? That's an OTT. And, you don't need to relay any other transmission company or whatever. We have integrated the canal with Amazon Alexa. And, that was something new. We designed our own skill. We haven't developed everything yet, but we were the first OTT cultural museum OTT in Spain to have Amazon Alexa integrated. And Amazon called us a couple of months ago. They wanted to work with us, and this is something we'll see in the next month maybe, because they are interested in how a museum, and we are not the Prado, we are not the largest museum in Spain, how they were dealing with their technology to get their information closer to their public as well. And we were offered to include our OTT in some of their devices, Alexa devices. So you may, in the future, wake up in the morning with the Canal Guggenheim Bilbao. Mobile first, as I mentioned, it's obvious. I don't think I need to explain that. People come to the museum and they use their mobile. They don't like to install any apps, so think about web apps, something very easy. Using a QR, you can scan, you don't need to install anything. Multilingual, AI, this is what we need to advance. We are working in that because, at the Guggenheim, we cannot make any mistake in orthographic syntaxes, And AI, they are working, for example, in Basque, this... it's getting better, but it's not perfect yet. But we need to be able to translate all our content to the 4 languages. Accessibility, that's important. There are people that they cannot hear anything, so we need to subtitle everything in the best way we can. One of the keys for a financial budget that we can approach this kind of project was we use Vimeo as our CDN. A CDN, in a basic explanation, is where videos are storage. And probably that's the most expensive part of a project like this. Because storage is high quality, video storage is not cheap. So we have been using Vimeo for some time for our website. All our video content that we publish in our website, it's located in Vimeo. So I decided I needed an OTT that could use Vimeo as the CDN, okay? And this is something Ebantic with their museum OTT they could do as well. So that made the project a lot cheaper. You have to go to, and there are some extremely great CDNs, but extremely expensive as well, okay? So think about maybe using YouTube or Vimeo as a first approach to OTT. What is coming next? Okay, I would like to, we are still, it's been a year since we released Canal Guggenheim Bilbao. I think we are the first museum in Spain that has their own OTT. There's, for example, the Prado, they want to do something now. But yes, but we're the first one. And next, okay, I would like to go to the to reach people in their houses with smart TVs. Okay, that may come maybe next year. Smart TV integration. That's something we haven't done yet, but we may be able to do it maybe next year. When we started, this is something that I really, well, there are some aspects that I consider before going to a project like this. We had some documentaries. We had already some documentaries, very old stuff, most of them analog, but a very good quality. So we didn't have to start from nothing. We have something like 100 videos that with an update, digitalized, we could do. Most of them beta VHS, so we hire people to take all those tapes and give us digital content. As I mentioned before, Google Analytics, we have all our platforms with dashboards that tell us what people are doing in any point. There were not much interest in our documentaries. And probably because it was not so easy to find them. So we needed to put in the front that content. We were not streaming too many activities, maybe some education activities, some opening talks, but not much. In the next years, we need to increase the number of activities. Anything interesting for the visitor has to be streamed, needs to be streamed, maybe online and maybe something that you can access afterwards. It's important to rely on suppliers and companies like Ebantic. It's very important, and I appreciate it. Take care of my suppliers because we have some very important platforms like ticketing platform, Salesforce. We need to rely on people like that. But museums, they have to design, they have to train people to be able to control their platforms. And we are in the last few years, we are in a digital transformations process at the museum. Okay, we are maybe 5-6 years ago, they realized that we are not only a service for staff, a service for visitors, we can do a lot more. And so we are launching new platforms every year. We are trying to help departments to improve the way they do things. For example, I'm working right now with the exhibition department, the department that creates the exhibitions, to improve the way they create the exhibitions, the resources they use, the time they take. So we are using project management, probably AI as well, so we can optimize resources, time, and budget, for example. So we are trying to help any department to push through the digital area. So any museum, if they are not, they need to transform their company, their museums. Community. As I mentioned before, we have right now more than 400,000 members. And the Canal Guggenheim Bilbao was released in a first step to these people because they keep a closer relationship with the museum. They are the first to book activities. They want to be informed of coming exhibitions. So, and they like this kind of new tools, maybe because they can revisit some past exhibition. I think 400,000 people is a decent number, only for them. But educators, they told me last week a lot of educators are using the canal just to get prepared for the visit with the schools, So we are using, this is a very young project. I think we need 3-4 years just to reach. Right now is the second video platform just beside the website in 1 year. So probably it's going to overcome the website in maybe 2 years. And well, Salesforce community, as I mentioned before, we needed to offer sometimes exclusive access to the members of community. Maybe we have exclusive guide, visits with the artists. Sometimes we have an exclusive streaming, just for them. Nobody else can access that. So we have all those people, those 400,000 people in our Salesforce CRM. So we needed to integrate. This is something you normally cannot do with, for example, a Vimeo, OTT, or something like that. You need to more control to develop and to integrate both platforms. Well, that's some pictures of what we've done. We have created our set in the auditorium. We have a new director, Miren Artayus. She's been working as general director for 1 year, and she was working before in Paris. I don't know if you knew. She's been with us for 1 year. She's there. And we have been creating this kind of sets in several spaces, okay? So we can stream in a high quality for any other places. Well, I don't know if you have any question, is there anything you can, yes?
Yes, I was wondering, you were saying at the beginning that you saw through Google Analytics that there were no users for the content that you provided on your website. And I just want to know how this shift with the new platform and with all this material that you're now doing, are you monitoring that? Can you see the shift?
We are monitoring everything. Yeah. People were, of course, they were accessing the website, the videos. We have a large number of visitors, but not so much as we thought in the website. And the reason for me is very easy. There is so much information that when you get to the video, you have, to scroll over thousands of information, so everything, One of the key points of the canal is, it's very easy. With 2 clicks, you are in the right spot. You need exhibition. You don't have to be surfing the web looking for. So, and if we are using a mobile, that helps a lot. And 70% of our users, digital users, are mobile users. So, in 1 year, as I mentioned, we have getting closer to the website that has been working for a long time. So it's coming up, and we are monitoring. We need to be patient, okay? Not everybody knows about the canal. And even this is the 3rd Congress I've been invited to talk about the Canal Guggenheim, because there is no many museums that have done something like this. So in the future, I think we'll get more visitors when they find, you can go to an exhibition, and once you watch that video, you have a lot of content related to the exhibitions, because it's all related. You can go to the opening talk, you can go to an interview with the artist, so it's related. So it's very easy to access the content. And I think that's one of the key aspects.
But the platform itself doesn't have a feature where you can click and see how many people access it?
No. We know, but no. It's like streaming. At first, there was, I think our first stream with Canal, there were only 2 people. But now, the community, they know, every stream, you see more people coming to see. And, not all digital projects we do are a success. We won a lobby last year, we won a Webby 2 years ago. We are not going to win everything, But I think it's going to be a success in the future because we have material coming from 2000, 2006, and we have interviews with artists that they are not alive. I think it's incredible content, and I know why, because the Spanish television, the Basque television, there are some general OTTs very important that we're asking for some of that documentaries. So we have some good stuff, and we are, of course, we're going to keep, because we want to share that information. But I think it's important for us to have our own platform.
Okay, merci beaucoup. Je pense que nous arrivons. Je passe le temps. Merci pour votre assistance. Au revoir.